Hi, I'm Scott. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know that I've been very reflective on changing some things about myself, who I am, who I want to be, what I call being a Renaissance man. In addition to that, I've been thinking a lot about society, culture, and civilization. And it really got me thinking, is culture and society really there to help people? I don't really know the answer to that. I just wanted to go and take a few minutes and explore and get your thoughts. So it's been a little bit of a rough week. My mother was supposed to have surgery. She's currently in a nursing home. She was having issues with both her kidneys. Specifically, she needed to go and have some kidney stones removed. She's currently also having pneumonia, and the nursing home didn't prepare her adequately to be able to get transportation to the hospital to have surgery. One might say it was a comedy of errors, but there wasn't anything funny about it. She needs surgery badly, and if she doesn't get it, her health could diminish. So she's at a nursing home who is supposed to be there to help people who need help, and they screwed up something as simple as getting transportation. It seems like no matter what you interact with, whether it's a company or an organization or even people, are we really out there for each other? It seems like a lot of times people either can't be bothered, they don't know, they don't care, or they're just too busy. And a lot of times we just end up going through life on some autopilot without really thinking about what we're doing, how it impacts others, how it impacts ourselves. This isn't the way society is always run. I mean, if you go back to like the ancient Greeks, they believed that a society was something that was built to help the populace, that society was actually organized around the government, that people kept themselves healthy, physically fit. Education was a priority for any freed man in ancient Athens, especially. A lot of the things that we take for granted have been based on how it's been done for thousands of years. It seems like a lot of things changed, though, especially after the Industrial Revolution, that isn't really helping us. The profit motive seems to be more important than people's health, people's welfare, people's happiness. More people are committing suicide than ever before. A lot of that could be conceivably because of the pandemic. People are more overworked, overstretched, burnt out than ever before. People sometimes don't say hi to each other. They don't acknowledge each other's presence. Can't even get a nod sometimes when you're walking down the street and see somebody, if they've noticed you, because they might have a phone in their hand. I think we need to be cognizant of what we do and our impact on others, and how that helps or hurts society in general. Society in general isn't something that's done by a big corporation or by the government alone. There are some things the government doesn't even tackle. I'm sure you've seen polls out there that say the government should be doing this or the government should be doing that. You know, a certain percentage of the population believes that the government should enact this law or repeal this law. But very often things just never change because of the moneyed interests, because maybe the politicians themselves don't see any benefit of doing what the people want them to do. In America, we live in what we call a representative democracy, so people don't actually vote on the issues. Their representatives do. And often people just vote on the same person they did last time because they know that person, and they sometimes don't bother to learn about other candidates. A lot of times it's based off of a political party. I'm a party A, so I only vote for people in party A. Although now with the polarization in modern America, I can understand why a person would only want to go and vote for a person of their particular political affiliation. But we're not engaged as a society. We're too busy or too disinterested or apathetic to really care about things. Things like the environment, things like justice, things like equality. And it wasn't always like this. You know, decades ago, there were town halls. There still are, but they're not as popular as they once were. There were bake sales and events that people would attend, sponsored by respective political parties or specific interest groups. A lot of that just doesn't exist anymore. The idea that people get together and discuss their opinions, it doesn't happen. You might have a Zoom call or you might have a speaker at a presentation, but it's not normally a one-on-one or interactive type of situation, other than possibly questions at the end that could be staged and could be already known to the presenter. I think in modern societies, especially in modern democracies, we need to take more of an interest on what happens in politics, in the news. We have to get news from various sources, not just one particular news source. And that's been a big issue in the past 20 years in America. Americans are so polarized, we don't even hear the same things. We need to change that. And I urge you to think about how you impact society. Is society working towards the betterment of the people in it? And what can we do as a society to help ourselves and society in general? Thank you for watching. Please let me know what your comments are and your thoughts below. Take care.